Well, folks, buckle up because we're diving into the whirlwind that is Donald J. Trump's political life. It's a story filled with drama, controversy, and a whole lot of spectacle. This wasn't some quiet entry into politics. Oh no, picture this. June 16, 2015. A day that would mark the beginning of a seismic shift in American politics. Trump Tower in New York City. Down that escalator he came, hair immaculate, declaring his candidacy. It was a moment that felt almost surreal, like a scene straight out of a movie. It was like a reality show had suddenly become very, very real. The lines between entertainment and politics blurred in an unprecedented way. Now, people knew Trump, sure. Real estate mogul, reality TV star, guy who slapped his name on everything from steaks to airlines. He was a larger-than-life figure, a brand unto himself. But president? That was a curveball even for a nation used to political theater. The idea seemed almost outlandish, yet it was happening right before our eyes. Yet there he was, promising to make America great again, tapping into a vein of discontent that many had underestimated. His message resonated with a significant portion of the population. From that day forward, it was a campaign unlike any other. Forget policy wonk talk. This was pure showmanship. It was a spectacle that captivated the nation. Rallies packed to the rafters, slogans chanted like gospel, and a constant stream of headlines, most of them self-generated. The media couldn't get enough of him, and neither could his supporters. Love him or hate him, you couldn't ignore him. His presence was inescapable, dominating the news cycle and public discourse. Trumpism had dawned, and it was here to stay. Now the 2016 election, that was something else. Hillary Clinton, the seasoned politician, versus Trump, the political outsider. It was the establishment versus the anti-establishment, and boy, did that anti-establishment message resonate. Trump campaigned on shaking things up, draining the swamp, bringing back jobs. Was it always clear how he'd do it? Maybe not. But in a world of polished sound bites, his blunt talk was refreshing to some. He connected with voters who felt ignored, left behind by globalization, and tired of political correctness. And when he did, defying the polls and pundits. Against all odds, he secured enough electoral votes to become the 45th president of the United States. Was it a landslide? Nope. Did he win the popular vote? Also nope. But the Electoral College, that quirky American system, gave him the keys to the White House. Okay, so he's in the Oval Office, now what? Well, Trump came in swinging, just like he promised. Out went the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal. In came a whole bunch of executive orders, from travel bans to environmental deregulation. He appointed 2 conservative justices to the Supreme Court, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, shifting the balance of the court for a generation. Then there were the tax cuts, a massive overhaul of the tax code that benefited corporations and wealthy Americans. Love him or hate him, you can't deny, Trump's presidency was a wild ride, full of twists, turns, and more than a few Twitter storms. Section 4. Stormy seas and impeachment squalls. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. The Trump administration faced turbulent waters from the very beginning. In fact, the Trump administration was about as calm as a hurricane in a bathtub, with chaos and controversy swirling around constantly. There were scandals, firings, and resignations, often playing out in real time on Twitter. The social media platform became a battleground for political drama. He clashed with world leaders, launched trade wars, and pulled out of international agreements, leaving allies and adversaries alike scratching their heads. These moves often led to global uncertainty and strained relationships. Then came the Mueller investigation, a 2-year probe into Russian interference in the 2016 election, and possible obstruction of justice by Trump himself. This investigation was a focal point of his presidency, dominating headlines and public discourse. It cast a long shadow over his presidency, though it ultimately didn't lead to any charges against him. The findings were complex and left many questions unanswered. And who could forget the impeachment drama? The political landscape was rocked by these proceedings. Not once but twice the House of Representatives voted to impeach Trump, first for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress related to his dealings with Ukraine, which involved allegations of pressuring a foreign government for personal political gain, and then for inciting the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, a day that will be remembered for its violence and chaos as rioters stormed the heart of American democracy. Both times he was acquitted by the Senate, but the stain of impeachment remained. These events left a lasting impact on the nation's political fabric, highlighting deep divisions and ongoing debates about accountability and justice. Now, despite all the controversies and challenges he faced during his first term, he ran for re-election in 2020, determined to secure another 4 years in office. This time, his opponent was Joe Biden, a veteran Democrat with decades of experience and a more traditional approach to politics, promising to restore the soul of America. The campaign was just as divisive as you'd expect, with both sides slinging mud and accusing the other of being a threat to democracy. The airwaves were filled with attack ads, and social media became a battleground of misinformation and heated debates. In the end, Biden won, but Trump refused to concede, making baseless claims of widespread voter fraud. His refusal to accept the results fueled tensions and deepened the divide among the American populace. His supporters, driven by his rhetoric, stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, in a desperate and violent attempt to prevent Biden from taking office. The world watched in shock as the heart of American democracy was under siege. It was a dark day for American democracy, a stark reminder of the fragility of the institutions that uphold it. But even after leaving office, Trump remained a powerful force in American politics. His influence was undeniable, and his base remained fiercely loyal. He continued to hold rallies, spread his big lie about the election, and endorse candidates who supported his agenda. His presence loomed large over the Republican Party, shaping its direction and future. And in 2024, he threw his hat back in the ring, hoping to reclaim the White House and continue his vision for America. The stage was set for another contentious and high-stakes election.